Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Beginner Guitar Lessons. Today I want to discuss something called sus chords, or rather suspended chords. Now, what you do when you play a sus chord is you take a major chord and you figure out what note would be the 2 in relation to your 3. So essentially what you're doing here is you're getting rid of the third of the chord and you're replacing it with either the second note or the fourth note. So let's take this. We're going to do this in the key of G. I'm going to give you a 3-chord progression in the key of G. And so I'm going to put up the scale of G for you, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to start with the 5 chord. Now the 5 chord in G is D. And those 3 notes are D, F sharp, and A, okay? What you do to create a sus chord is you're going to get rid of the third. Now the F sharp is the third. We're going to get rid of it. I'm going to pull off of the F sharp here, which is going to expose the E note in replacement of the F sharp. All right, that is the sus 2 because the E is the 2, D, E. All right, back to your major. Now I'm going to add the G as the replacement for the third. That is the 4. That is the sus 4. So you have D major with the F sharp. You have D sus 2 with the E in place of the F sharp because it's the 2. And then you have the D sus 4, which has the G in place of the F sharp as the 4. All right. The next chord we're going to do is a C sus 2, C sus 4, and obviously also C major. C major being that, all right, what we're going to do is we're going to add, or rather take away our middle finger, exposing the D string as the 2. So here is a D sus 2, I'm sorry, a C sus 2. All right. Technically though, I should add 1 3 to that. I just realized we're kind of defeating the purpose of the suspension there. So we can either avoid string 1 altogether or put down 1 3. That way we're not playing the major third at all. All right, so you're left with C, D, G, C, G. So that's your C sus 2, back to C major. And now what we're going to do is move up 1 note above the E to replace the E with an F. All right, and that of course is the C sus 4. All right, so there's your 4 chord. Now we're going to drop down to the final chord of the progression. This is the G chord. It's the 1 chord in G. All right, here's just your G major. To get the sus 2, we have to remove 5 2, exposing the A string, which the A is the 2, sus 2. And I'm actually going to, yes, that'll work. We're going to go with that. All right, there's your G sus 2. Now to get your G sus 4, you have to move your 3rd finger to 5 3 in place of 5 2, raising it up 1 note, creating a C, which is your your G sus 4. These are probably not the best voicings for these chords, but at this rate, keeping with the theme of beginner and keeping everything down here close to the nut, I figured we would give you these voicings to start, and in the future, when things open up, we'll move them around the neck. But that is your basic idea of the sus chords. You have the sus 2, the sus 4, the major. It's really fun to not only throw these in to your progressions, like for example, there's your sus 4, there's your sus 2, sus 4, sus 2. All right, so you can use those into your normal progressions. What really makes the sus chord great is that it suspends, for its namesake, it suspends the major third. And what that does is it leaves the chord floating, right? When you play a major third, that is a solid chord that knows exactly what it is and what it wants to do. You can't waver from the major chord, right? Very solid. Now, if you suspend that third, suddenly you're left with a chord that sounds not necessarily out of place, but it's not grounded as well, right? Working that sus2 and sus4 on either side of the major, that can make for a really cool chord progression. And again, the function of that suspended chord is to delay the resolution, right? It's almost like, in the same way that you can resolve a song from the 5 chord to the 1 chord to bring it back home, this is kind of, in a way, not officially, but in a way, you could almost look at this as a mini resolution, similar, because you're creating drama, suspense, a sense of floating, and then resolving back to your major third. So it's kind of like a mini microcosm of the bigger picture with music, which is to resolve from the 5 chord to the 1 chord. You're resolving from a sus back to the major. You get that sense of movement and finality. Everything's come back home and it's at rest. All right? As always, guys, thank you for watching. If anyone has questions, leave them in the comments. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and let me know what you want to learn in the future, because I would love to specifically target these lessons to people's direct requests. All right? Have a great day. We'll see you next time.